Thanks for joining us on another DK Custom Products video today. We're going to be doing some wind testing. It's going to be super interesting, quick video, but shows you what a difference wind can make. So today we're going to be doing some testing. As you know, if you know anything about DK Custom Products, all of our products that we make are street developed and street tested, and parts like engine parts can be dyno tested, but some parts just can't be dyno tested. And today we're looking at tank lifts and cooling deflector wings for baggers and trikes. Also, the information carries over to softails, dynos, sporties, but we're looking specifically at baggers and trikes today. And while we can't do dyno testing on it, we can do wind testing. This is an anemometer, and it measures the speed of airflow. It also measures how many cubic feet flow per minute. And so what we did is, while we street developed the tank lift and tested it, and the same with the CDW, and we've had those numbers published for a long time, we know that a tank lift on a bagger or a trike and a softail and a twin cam and a dyna will cool the engine temperatures 10 to 15 degrees. And we know that cooling deflector wings on the touring models and trikes will cool the engine another 8 to 10 degrees. But we know that just from riding and measuring temperatures. This is going to be a video showing why those temperatures drop by illustrating how much air is flowing over the engine with the tank lift, with cooling deflector wings, versus without a tank lift and without cooling deflector wings. So if you don't know what we're talking about when we say tank lift or cooling deflector wings, we'll put a video up in the corner about tank lifts, and then after that video is up in the corner, we're going to put another video up in the corner about cooling deflector wings. The links to those will also be in the description below, and links to where you can see all the details on those parts will be in the description below. But this is a pretty simple test that we did, actually 7 different tests. The first test you see here is the wind blowing toward the front of the bike, and we measured it before it got to the tank or the cooling deflector wing. And then the very next video that we're going to show here is what the wind speed is after the cooling deflector wing on the front cylinder. So the first video was how much wind there was, and there's still that much wind before it gets to the tank and the cooling deflector wing. And then this video is how much is at the front cylinder with the cooling deflector wing and the tank lift. Now the next video is how much wind is at the rear cylinder with the cooling deflector wing and with the tank lift. And of course the rear cylinder is what needs the most help. And even though we have the tank lift on the cooling deflector wing, obviously it's behind the front cylinder. It's not going to get as much air, but you can see it is getting air. Then we have the next couple videos are showing the change in the wind speed when the cooling deflector wing is rotated, because obviously you can adjust the angle of the cooling deflector wing, and that will direct the air in either a more downward, more upward position, more inward. And so because the cooling deflector wings not only have an angle like this, but they have an angle like this to catch air from the outside of the bike and push it toward the engine. So those videos are showing how the CDW, the cooling deflector wing, can be adjusted and how it changes how much air is flowing over the cylinders. The next video we have is showing how much wind is hitting the engine with a tank lift, but without a cooling deflector wing. And you can see it's a pretty significant drop not having that cooling deflector wing there to catch the air and push it across the cylinders, across the engine. And then the last one is showing how much air is flowing across the engine with no tank lift and no CDW, no cooling deflector wing. And you can see that it's dropped close to in half. I mean, there's not near as much wind flowing over the engine with no tank lift and no cooling deflector wing. And that's why when you add a tank lift, you're going to see a 10 to 15 degree drop. When you add a cooling deflector wing, you're going to see another, on top of the 10 to 15 degrees, another 8 to 10 degree drop. So that's the testing for today. We thought it would be really interesting to show you that. We were curious to see it. We knew what the temperature results were. We did not know wind speed. And so by using this anemometer, we were able to measure that wind speed. We're sharing it with you in this video. We will be doing another video in the future showing how a tank lift and cooling deflector wings reduce or eliminate buffeting. We'll be having the anemometer. We'll be putting it right here. We'll be putting it right here to show how much wind is hitting the chest with and without those items, how much is hitting the helmet. We're also going to mount it on the front of the tank to show how much air is coming over the front of the tank with the cooling deflector wings and the tank lift and without them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to call or email us at support@dkcustomproducts.com. You all ride safe out there.